Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop right there. This channel is not intended for kids under the age of 13. So if you're under the age of 13, please leave. Don't need anybody getting in trouble around here. Come on back when you are 13. Or when YouTube decides that it's actually okay for family-friendly content to be seen by all. So yeah. You're still watching, aren't you? Turn it off. Turn it off now. Parents, where are you? Do your job.
Hey everybody, Arthur here with another unboxing video, and today we have Marvel Legends series 80 years, the Uncanny X-Men Cyclops on that vintage card. And honestly, this was a figure I was going to pick up originally when they were announced, and I decided to hold off on them because I had a bunch of Cyclopses already and I didn't really have an attachment to this version. But when GameStop has some stores that are closing, you know, you just got to take advantage of some of these sales. So a $5 Cyclops, can't really go wrong with that. And the card is pretty freaking awesome. I really like the artwork that's going on, the beam effect, the shooting across. This one actually looks nice out of the vintage wave so far. On the back, we got that same weird concept art drawing for the image. On the right side, all the figures from the wave. And we got some read-up information right here if you'd like to read up about your boy Cyclops. Scott Summers out of the package actually looks pretty decent for this figure, and he does come with an alternate head and a effects piece. One thing that I would say that I wish that he came with is alternate hands instead of being stuck with the fist and the visor hand. Just would have been cool. Now the alternate head that we get is pretty nice. It's him being angry. You got the blast on the corner of his eyes coming out. The visor looks chunky, but that's because the effects piece sort of fills that spot. But we got the gold plastic, a little bit of gappage between the mouthpiece and the blue part of his head, but that's nothing too crazy. And then we got the white stripe that's going straight through, which white could have been on there a little bit thicker as I got some little paint spots. But other than that, I mean, this is a pretty cool head sculpt. And I can actually, if this is already coming off the side like that, I could probably see people prying that off and trying to add this to that Jim Lee Cyclops. Then we have the effects piece right here, just made in translucent red plastic. It's got some sculpted in work on the bottom, but then on the other side it's just flat. It's just flat. There's no sculpted design. I don't know why they just didn't do it on both sides. But let's go ahead and see how it is to put this into the alternate head. So we got these little chunks on the bottom that you can see, like I said, is just it's a chunky looking visor, but that's because these pieces are chunky on the bottom and it fits that sculpt, so no more chunkiness. But then you got the soft, smooth, no ridges on the top, which is just, it's weird to me. I don't know. It's like you got this underneath and then it's smooth on top. I don't get it. I know what this reminds me of. I don't know, this probably showing my age. They used to sell Jolly Ranchers in like long sticks and they were flat like this. So it looks like a cherry Jolly Rancher. But yeah, I don't understand why they didn't. Let me see if we can not hit the camera like that again. But there we go. Let's see if I can pop this. It works. See, that looks good on the top. Then it looks all chunky on the bottom of his face. It's smooth, but this way it looks better to me. Definitely think it looks better with the sculpt work on the top. What do you guys think? Comment down below and let me know if you like it the original way they wanted or the sculpt on top, or would you have rather had it both sculpt on bottom and top? Cyclops out of the package looks really nice. The sculpt work is very nice on this weird, like, charged up, ready to blast you energy. A little bit of gold on the visor right above my finger. Not much. Sculpt looks pretty good. Again, I wish the white stripe was painted a little bit more. Anytime you paint over blue plastic, you know, you got to make sure it's thick enough. And, you know, they didn't do a horrible job with this figure at all, especially with the blue painted over the white. Like, it's super clean. A little bit extra speckle of blue on there. But, I mean, looking at him, this is a very, very clean looking paint job. Usually when you're looking at these edges and stuff like that, you start seeing, like, blurriness, but they kept it nice and sharp. Now, one thing that I do see with these figures, and when I'm pointing out these certain issues with figures, I'm not telling you not to get the figures. I'm not telling you these figures are crap. It's just pointing out certain things. So I'm not sitting here hating on a figure, but I do, you know, like any other figure that you purchase, when you have a darker plastic, you paint over it with white, they got to go a little bit thicker on this. And you can sort of tell certain areas were thinner, but in the crevices of the sculpt, that white paint is actually super thick. You can see it, and also created like little bubbles, like air bubbles that were in there. Then we got the other side, which looks like he's been dropped in dirt a little bit. He's dirty. I don't know how that happened. Could have happened in the manufacturer, like the factory and stuff. And when we're looking at these plastics, when you're dealing with the blue plastic, I love their metallic plastic. It looks really good. But when they're painting and using that, a lot of these figures, they're not really matching. So you can see this is a darker metallic, like blue. These are a lot brighter. Same with the bicep. So different plastic and different paint. But if you don't really care about that stuff, then you're not even really going to notice. And then again, with the paint, like you can see it's like dirty. Why is there like dirt smudges? You guys can see that. Then we get some, just the paint's just not as clean where they had to paint it. Like the stripes on the legs look super thick when it comes to the paint, but still not 100%. Now when we dive into articulation for this guy, his neck looks down very far, giving him that hunched neck. That's sort of funny there. But then he can look up quite a bit, giving him that giant gourd throat going on, but no lollipop syndrome. His head can look 360, a little bit of attitude, because I mean he's Scott Summers, he's gonna have a little bit of attitude. Arms can go up quite a bit. We get the bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. No, I thought there'd be like some cut there, but not. Rotation at the wrist, bend at the wrist. One thing I would have liked in the arms, like, come on, butterfly. It would have been nice to get that a butterfly joint in there. But bending down, you can go quite a bit. Huge gap in there. Like, ginormously huge gap. Leaning back, same thing. So just be mindful of your posing. You get the waist swivel, giving them the bookshelf hips. You can do the splits out that far. Thigh cut as well, right there. And then you can actually do a pretty decent kick. Double jointed knees. Does have a boot cut, if I can. There it goes. Boot cut right there. Ankle bend. And generous pivot. I also noticed on the back of the heads, there's like, this is where the mold must have like detached from the sculpt, but you got like the broken piece right there, and then this one just looks super broken there, causing like a little divot in the back of his head. Not as noticeable on the one he was equipped with, but the blasting head definitely has that rounded chunk. This figure is fun to pose up. I mean, get him into some nice blasting poses. Now, one thing I did have an issue with, and that is the hand. Trying to get the hand to pose up properly where his visor was and everything is just not, it's not lining up the way it needs to. That's the unfortunate part. Like, I was trying to get his hand to go back and stuff. It's just, it probably takes some major work, but he's not going to angle it on its own. So the 80 years vintage carded Cyclops is definitely worth getting if you're a fan of Cyclops, if you need that optic blast effect, or if you like him in this costume. He is a solid figure, even for retail or clearance. I mean, he is a nice Cyclops. It has a little bit of issues, but those are issues that we deal with a lot of figures. It doesn't have to be necessarily Hasbro or anything like that. So yeah, if you like the figure, pick him up. He's definitely not a disappointment. I love the blast effect, and I like his face sculpts. Like the head sculpts are very nice, and that sums up my unboxing and review of the 80 years vintage carded Cyclops. If you guys like what you saw, hit that thumbs up. New to my channel, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you know when I post up a new video. And I want to make sure you guys check out Toyco Toys and Collectibles. Got the website down below and a promo code strictly for you guys, so you can get some free shipping on whatever you order from the website. And make sure you check out the Facebook groups down below. You got the two Toyco ones. One's the community, interact with fellow collectors, customers of Toyco, things like that. But then you got the pre-order group, which is fantastic. It destroys the competition when it comes to pre-ordering some amazing figures. The prices are nowhere close to being beat by Big Bad Toy Store, Megalopolis, or Entertainment Earth. None of those guys can touch Toyco, so definitely check out the pre-order group. And I want you guys, if you're looking for a nice, tight-knit community when it comes to collecting, you want to talk figures, you want to talk about your collectibles, it could be from Hot Wheels to Pops, whatever you're into, definitely feel free to join into Plastic Cannibals. That is my group. If you type in Plastic Cannibals in Facebook, at the end of this video, you see a little cartoon mascot in a sense. If you look for that in Facebook, click that link to Plastic Cannibals, answer the 3 questions, come on in, let's talk about figures, let's talk about collecting. And you know, we're a really good group of guys and gals that we look out for one another, and we try to, you know, look out for really the collector in mind. You know, if you somebody in a different state can get a figure that you can't get because it hasn't shown up yet, you know, a lot of times it's just we charge retail plus shipping, so you're not really taking a hit because we're not scalpers and we don't stand for scalping. So definitely check out Plastic Cannibals, and I want you guys to have the best luck hunting, keep on collecting, and have a beautiful day.